Hi, I'm Jo, and today I am doing the You Haven't Read That tag. This was originally started by Cris from Crispers Book Nook. I will link down below, and I saw it on Steakuccino, and then she tagged me, which I was totally doing this video before she even tagged me. I just love this. So what you do is you choose 5 books that you are always surprised when you find out someone hasn't read them. You're like, you haven't read that? How have you not read that? These are my 5 that I am always shocked when I find out someone hasn't read them. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I mean, I'm rereading this year. I read this in high school. If you haven't read it, like, what did you read in high school? My high school hardly had us read anything, and we read To Kill a Mockingbird. A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. It's super short. Why have you not read it? I don't understand. I just don't understand. It's super short. You can't use length as an excuse. It's not long. Pride and Prejudice. How could you say that you are a reader and have never read Jane Austen? I mean, oh my gosh. I just can't imagine a life without Pride and Prejudice in it. You are so missing out by not reading Jane Austen. How could you not read Jane Austen? I don't understand. F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby. This is another one that is short. And it's not difficult to read. Like, some people say they don't like to read like Jane Austen and Charlotte Bronte and Charles Dickens because they're wordy and they speak differently and things are just different because they're 200 years old. I understand that. This is not. This is 90 years old. It's not difficult to read. And it's an awesome, lovely, terrible, tragic story. I don't understand why you haven't read it. Everyone knows about it, especially since the movie just came out. Everyone knows it's a book. And finally, Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. This book is just fantastic. I think everyone's heard of it, right? How could you not read this book? I mean, it's just, there is no book more important to me than this one. That's a blurb by Alice Walker. How could you read that blurb and not pick up this book? It's just a fabulous book. Also, it's gorgeous, this edition, the 75th anniversary. This is just such an important book. And this is also not long. This does have dialect in it that could be a little bit hard to get into, although it is nothing like some of the stuff I've read from William Faulkner. But I don't know, maybe I understand a little bit more with this one. But I just read this book. Read this book. How could you not read this book? You need to read this book. So those are my answers. How could you have not read these books? I didn't even pick really super thick ones or Charles Dickens. Well, I did pick Charles Dickens, but I chose A Christmas Carol. Everyone basically knows that story, so reading the book isn't that difficult. You already have an idea of what's happening and can understand. Let me know down below, what is a book that you are always surprised to hear that someone hasn't read? I mean, I have more, but some of them I just read in the past year, and I need to make a whole other video, like books that I'm surprised that I had not read before this past year. Because I'm shocked at myself. What have I been doing with my life? Check out Sabrina's video on Steakuccino. I will link to her below, and I will also link to Crispers Book Nook, so check out the original video. And I will talk to you later. Bye.